Let me teach you a super simple bread recipe that'll make 4 loaves, or you can divide it up and make multiple different types of bread. To start, you need 4 cups of warm water. To that, add half a cup of sugar and mix well. Now you're going to add your yeast, 4 tablespoons of yeast. I only had 3.5, so I just went with it. Now mix this up until it's all incorporated into it and let it rest. We're going to let it rest for 10 minutes, and this is what it'll look like when you come back. Now we're going to add some salt. It's 1 tablespoon of salt. You can use any kind of oil. I use coconut oil. We're going to add 5 tablespoons of oil to this. We're going to stir that up really good, and now we start by adding our flour, 1 cup at a time. We're going to whisk it in until it's well incorporated. Now we add another cup of flour and whisk that in as well. I'll add 3 cups of flour with the whisk, and after that it gets too stiff to use. Now I'll use a wooden spoon and I continue to add. This is 4 cups, 5 cups. It's starting to get really stiff. We're going to add another cup in there, so there's 6 cups. After that, it's about too much for me to be able to stir, so I add half a cup more in. And then I add a half a cup of flour onto my surface. I'm going to plop the dough all on top. It's really runny, so we're going to add another cup of flour on top. Now I use this and I just scrape it up into itself, folding over into itself. And I keep doing this until all of this is incorporated well. After that, then I will knead in 1 more cup of flour until it's not so sticky. So I did the kneading off camera, but here it is once it's all ready. Now we're going to put it into an oiled bowl. Make sure the sides and everything of it is oiled really well. You don't want the dough to stick. Now we're going to put the dough in the bowl and flip it. And we're going to cover it and let it rise for 25 minutes. Now we've punched it down. It's risen completely. Get rid of all the air that's in there before turning it out onto my floured surface. Now we're just going to divide it into 4 equal pieces. And then I'll roll those up into a ball and set them aside and work on them individually. So the first loaf that I did was just normal. The second one here is everything but bagel seasoning. And I rolled it all in and put it in a greased baking dish. Pat some more on top of there. And now I cut 1 ball into about 12 to 20 little pieces here. I'm just going to flatten them out and add some cheese. You could add whatever you want. Then I rolled them into balls and put them in that dish. These are the cinnamon rolls. And I'm just flattening out the dough, and I put cinnamon and sugar on there and butter. Now we're rolling them up. And they will go in their own pan. I pinched the bottoms pretty good so that I'm able to keep most of the cinnamon and sugar into there. You'll see here coming up. There I'm pinching it in. And I just place them in a pan, then continue on with the rest. Now once everything is made, I just let everything rest now for about another half hour until it's risen some more. And then we place it in a 375-degree oven. It actually goes in cold, and you set the timer for 25 minutes. We're going to butter all the tops of these. And here Craig is trying them.
Pretty good.
Nice and cheesy.
Some cheese.
There's the cinnamon rolls with frosting. And the 2 loaves of bread we haven't cut into yet. Enjoy!